Hi. Today I'm going to share a few common mistakes that I see people making in Google Ads. Hopefully this can save you a lot of money. So the first one is optimizing for the wrong conversions. Now, this might not be the most common thing, but when it happens, it's really crucial to the performance. So in this case, we can see two search campaigns, and one of them has had 571 conversions, which is great. However, we will segment these out to conversion action. So I click segment, go to conversions, conversion action, and in here we can see a breakdown of all the conversions. Now we have to mask this for privacy, but what I can tell you that I can see here is it's just people who viewed random pages on the website with little intent, and even the contact page view. You really want to optimize towards people who filled the form, who emailed you by clicking the email address, who made a call. You can track calls that are longer than 30 seconds, for example. So you want to have something that really has meaning for the business. And of course, if you're an e-commerce brand, then you want to track people who actually made a purchase rather than just viewed a page. So I don't recommend this setup in 99% of the cases. In some rare cases where you're not getting enough conversion data, then maybe this is a good signal to tell you that people are interacting with the website. But I would say that you still want to have very specific pages that you optimize towards, and not just every page view. Now we can also go into the goal setup. That's the conversion setup for their account. So I hover over goals and then click summary. And this opens up all the conversions in the account. And there are quite a few conversions. Now, as I said, they're all basically page view conversions. But the one thing you should really keep in mind is if you have several conversions, it's okay to have them in there, but you want to set most of them as secondary. So you need to click into them and set them as secondary. At the moment, they're all set as primary, which means that everything is being counted. And you really just want to optimize towards the one that are meaningful and set everything else to secondary. And so you have your 2 or 3 conversions where you really try to get more of them, and the rest are kind of giving you signals. So avoid this way of working. Second thing I want to show you is very common. It's a Google default setup when you set up a new campaign. And I can straight away see it here. It's display expansion on search campaigns. So when you see the icon here, if it was pure search, it would just be a magnifying glass. But you see this little rectangle on the left of the magnifying glass here? I'll just try to zoom in a bit. This thing here. That signifies that display expansion is enabled. And basically what it means, you're running a search ad, but Google is going to show this as visual ads on the display network, which is usually a really, really bad thing. And I recommend removing that in 100% of the cases. There's no reason to enable display network unless you want to give Google some money for nothing, really. So we go into the settings, you go into networks, and you want to disable search partners and the display network. Now, search partners in some rare cases with e-commerce, I would maybe try that, maybe later down the line. But in most cases, you should avoid it. Display network, avoid at all times. There's no reason to do that. It's just a default setup that Google enables when you create a campaign, but you really don't want that happening in your account. Now, the very last mistake that you want to fix in Google Ads would be having too many broad keywords. Now you can use broad sometimes, and I use broad with certain accounts, but what I suggest is this. Broad isn't very focused, and it allows Google to spend your money pretty much everywhere. You might have a keyword for a specific thing like men's black t-shirt, but it will show it for all sorts of shirts, all sorts of keywords that have nothing to do. It might even show it for trousers and God knows what. So I recommend using broad as kind of a way to expand. If you have a large budget, by all means, you can try a bit of broad to expand. In this case, this is a low budget account. It's not spent a lot. Every penny counts for this business. And so using too many broads is not a good idea. If we go into the keywords here, you can see that pretty much all of them are broad. Now, this is again a case where Google's default is broad keywords. And not only that, each and every recommendation they give you is about using more broad keywords, as if this is a solution to anything really. I recommend focusing more on phrase and exact to focus your spend where it really matters. And then if you're getting a good result with that, you can experiment with a little bit of broad keywords to expand your reach a little bit if your budget allows. But definitely don't go too heavy on broad, especially if you're in a bit of a niche or if you have a limited budget. And that's all for now. I hope you found this useful and I hope it helps you save some money and get better results on Google Ads. You can follow us at Happy PPC. You can visit our website, which is full of articles about Google Ads, and you can get in touch with any Google Ads related questions. Thanks so much.